The Honourable Mark Pearson.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. The Local Land Services Amendment Bill 2017. Firstly, while the Animal Justice Party does not support this bill, I will note that it is really only one key section that we would oppose. That is, the increased funding for killing so-called pest species. We had hoped to propose some sensible and proactive amendments, but as this is a money bill, this can only be done through the other place. I will touch on our amendment ideas a little later. So in relation to the Animal Justice Party's concerns, my understanding of the bill is that it seeks to join general pest animal management funding within the existing locust fund, which generates its income from a levy placed on the landholders. While funding for locust control remains the main priority, residual funds are to be used to target those species deemed as pests with the cheapest yet cruelest forms of killing control, a control method that has been proven time and time again to not work at the end. In fact, it has the opposite effect in that mass slaughter only provides a quick force result of population control. Professor Tony English of the University of Sydney's Faculty of Veterinary Medicine stated that despite 200 years of shooting, poisoning and trapping, feral numbers continue to rise. Populations of feral animals have thrived, not due to the setting aside of national parks, but due to the massive degradation and devegetation of the landscape, which has compromised natural ecosystems and their native species, creating a niche for feral animals. Much research has been published in regards to the crude killing methods of control. It shows that by removing an introduced species out of an ecosystem that is adapted to a point to their existence has a negative ripple effect to other animals. A basic example is the wiping out of rabbits in certain areas. While farmers rejoiced, it caused a dramatic decrease in quoll numbers. This was due to our native raptors. Rather than preying on easy and prolific rabbits, they then turned to preying on quolls. Quoll numbers decreased, raptors struggled for food, and more consequential changes occurred down the food chain. We can't go back to 1769 in relation to introduced species. Foxes, wild dogs, wild pigs, rabbits and cats and mice and rats have been born here for many generations and now fill an ecological niche. Given the massive habit loss and change in landscape, mostly due to the expansion due to agribusiness and the forest industry, we must accept that our ecosystems are evolving and adapting. So rather than, as this bill appears to propose, provide a new avenue of funding for 1080 poisoning programs, mass slaughters, cruel hunting techniques and lethal viruses causing long lingering deaths, we should be investing funds into research and development of more humane and non-lethal but effective control methods. While I do note that there is a research and development area within the DPI, this is limited by general funding provided through the entire DPI department. There is no designated fund to evolve this past more than a supportive mechanism to more profitable animal farming. So sadly, in regards to animal welfare, it is merely a token gesture. Our amendment idea is simple, and since I can't move the amendment, I do urge the Minister and the Government to seriously think about its intentions and desired outcomes. Simply put, we would call for a proportion of the residual funds, that is, once the locust part has been allocated, to go to funding specific research and development for more humane and non-lethal methods of introduced animal control. We propose no less than 25% of the residual funds to be provided and utilised only for introduced animal control research and development and into such programs which are effective now in other parts of the world, such as immunosterility contraceptive methods. These are being used with the wild horses in Canada and with elephants in Africa, and is being trialled and has some success with possums in New Zealand. So to ensure transparency transparency and accurate cost-benefit measurement, we would also suggest that an annual report be provided outlining where these funds were spent and the outcomes and trials conducted as part of the specific introduced animal management plan. This report should also show the actual percentage that was allocated in excess of the minimum of 25%. So overall, our aim with this proposal is to ensure that introduced animal management provided by government tackles the long-term strategic view of genuine population control through humane and effective non-lethal management. If funds are to be used to kill animals in the most barbaric and cruel way, based purely on cost, then it is only reasonable that a portion of these funds go into research and development of not just more humane methods, but better long-term outcomes in regards to the population reductions of these introduced innocent animals. Thank you.